In this session, we're going to discuss the common items that are in the work order setup for your concerns, inspections, and services. So from my home ribbon, I'm going to go to Setup. We're going to go to the Work Order Setup area. So I can pull that up very quickly by just typing the word work in. So here you're going to see your concerns, inspections, and services that you will be utilizing on the work orders. So let's take a look at some concerns. So whenever I go into any of these areas, it's typically going to start with the first service category. Okay. Now I can search any service category by opening the drop down here. I can just pull up everything in a profit center. You can search by code. You can search by title. So if I'm looking for a concern, for example, that has the word leak in it, I just type in leak, hit enter, and it pulls up all the concerns. You'll notice that this one has a code. So you will be able to search by code also. So you can search and find stuff in here very easily this way. So if I type in CSI, it only pulls up that one. And anything that has just those 3 letters in that code. On the top left of your screen, you're going to have a search. That's the same thing as hitting enter on your keyboard. Reset just refreshes it and resets it back. You can add any new concern in here, inspection or service. So this is basically just starting one from scratch. If I pull up a concern and I want to edit that concern, I can simply click on it, right click, do an edit. I can do an edit at the top of the screen. I can double click it. So I'm just double clicking and that opens it up. You can delete anything you wish. Duplicate allows you to make a copy of anything, whether it's a concern, inspection, or service, and then you can change it up. That way you don't have to build it from scratch. Now, anytime I go into any of these, you're going to notice on these lines, you're going to have your profit center, category, any codes, titles, a little description box, and there's a hidden. Now, the reason why we have hidden in here is anytime I don't want the service advisors to utilize something, I can simply hide it from view. They will not see this at the work order level. Okay. Now, a lot of people will do this. Maybe they don't want to use a concern or an inspection or a service at this point in time. They maybe want to work on it. So this way you can hide it. Don't have to worry about it being utilized while you're working on it. All packages, no matter what they are going to have a header and a footer. So if I click on Edit Header, here this is your title line. Now how we get these bold is we just simply sweep over them, right click, and then we bold them. This is your description box. You can type in anything you like here. Okay. If you want to put a footer on any of these, you just simply click it, and now you're going to have the footer below any material lines, labor lines, or sublet lines. This will be at the bottom of the package. Another thing that's going to be common here is, again, you can code stuff if I want to put a specific code. So what coding does for you is it gives you the capability of searching for it quite easily in the work orders or as you're writing a work order. You will typically have related components when it comes to concerns and services. So what related does for you is it gives your service advisor the capability of, when they add that particular concern, to be able to add additional items. Now let me take you back one step here. We're going to close this up. In your templates, you're going to have what we call service package relationship. So if I click on this, you're going to typically see these 3 here: recommended additional, required additional, replace with suggested. So the idea behind this is as you relate other packages to something, then it will give the service advisor the option to put it on the work order. If I have it selected as required, it will force it to go on the work order. Replace with just simply removes the original and puts this in place of it. So let's go back to concerns. So if I open this one up, fluid leak concern, and I look at my related. So here we have recommended additional diagnosis and a recommended inspection. So if I wanted to force this inspection on here, I would just simply click, delete it. I can go add it back. I want to use an inspection. I'm going to go search for that inspection. Here it is. Click. Go down the bottom right, click on OK. See, now I have my relationship. So if I state that I want this required, then I'm going to select that. That will force it on the work order. Save it, and I'm ready to go. Let's go see how that works. So if I have a work order, and I have one here that I started, I go to add. Again, you'll notice, you see, here's your code, here's your title. I can open the drop down, look for whatever I want. Concerns will always have a pink exclamation mark here. Inspections will look like this, and then the service packages will be the little brown box. So if I were to add this fluid leak concern, I can type in, whatever I want here. Add and close. Notice I have the option to put this diagnosis on, where here it's going to force the inspection. I can use it if I like. If I don't want to, I don't have to. And then I select OK. So now I've put my concern and my inspection on. So that's how that's going to work. The other thing that you're going to see common in here, and when you open any of these up, is do not show pricing for each line. Now, typically your concerns do not have pricing. This is just a place to document. Okay. Let's go over to a service so you can see how this works. So I'm going to go over to my oil changes here. So let's say I have this oil change. Here we have the breakdown of the labor, the parts and everything. So when I select this, see, it hides it. Now what will happen is when I print the invoice, this is the way it's going to display for the customer. There'll just be a package price. So I can pick and choose any package that I want to do this on. Duration is so you can program in what you think is the approximate time you're going to consume. So if I'm writing a work order and scheduling it as a future appointment, it can look at the duration here to determine how many hours or how much time you're going to be booking into your scheduler. And where that comes in is, what if I don't have any labor time in here? So if this was at 0, it's not going to know how much to book in on your scheduler. Or that's where the duration will come in. We'll save that. The last thing that's common amongst all these is the fact that you can duplicate anything. You may be wanting to create more packages in here. Now I can go do that by just simply clicking add and starting one totally from scratch and setting it up. Or I can take something that's similar to what I want, right click on it, duplicate it, or go up to the top and hit duplicate. Makes an exact copy of it, and then I can come in here and start editing and changing things up. So what it's going to do is it's going to save all that background information for you. Makes it a lot less time consuming to create a new package. So those are the common items that you're going to see repeated over and over, and you'll be using them in all three areas of the work order setup.